friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of my community question series. We're now on to episode 16. I want to thank everyone for your participation in my series so far. You guys are awesome, and I really appreciate reading your guys' wonderful answers to the questions. Getting different people's perspectives on them has been really nice. I also appreciate the people who have taken the time to film video responses. I really appreciate that, and you've really enjoyed watching your videos. I do ask if anybody does film a video response to please share the link with me as a comment, or at least tell me about it in a comment so that I don't miss it. I do apologize to anybody if your comment gets deleted by YouTube, because it has been auto-deleting comments on my videos when people share links for some reason. I know my buddy Nick T. Wolf and Mario both have had issues with that. I don't know what the hell's up with YouTube. It's been pissing me off, but I have no control over it, so I do apologize if that happens, because I'll get a notification on my phone that somebody commented, and I'll go to click on it, and the comment's gone because of their stupid bots that do in their community guideline horse shit and stuff. It's just irritating. I wish YouTube would just let me decide what gets deleted and doesn't, but you know, it is what it is, so we just have to live with it. So please let me know if you guys do a video response, because I would hate to miss it, because also YouTube doesn't always tell me, and I don't always get notifications on the channels that I am subscribed to, so that really does suck, and it's annoying. So I would hate to miss it. So for this week's question here, episode 16, is I want to ask you guys, do you guys have an end game for your collection? And I mean that, like, do you guys have a stopping point? Do you guys eventually going to just stop? You know, do you have a point where you're just going to stop buying games and just be happy with the collection you already have? Or are you just going to keep collecting forever and don't ever see yourself stopping? And of course, you know, people are going to be at different points in their life, whether you're just, you know, young, you know, you're just, you know, starting college, or you're in high school, or whatever you're in, or you're, you know, you're just starting out in your collecting life. So you may be in a different point in your life with collecting versus someone else who might be at the end point. You know, maybe you know, you're an older person, you've been collecting for 40 some years, and you pretty much got everything you want, and you're kind of at the end, and your collecting days are winding down, or maybe you're kind of in the middle. You know, everybody's going to be at a different point in their life. Also, everybody's financial situations too are going to be different as well. You know, everybody has a different amount of money that they make. People work different jobs and stuff. So some people might work a really high paying job, and so they're able to afford a ton of stuff. When you see them buying all kinds of crazy stuff, you're like, how can they afford it all? Well, you know, not everybody makes the same kind of money, and so everybody's financial situation is different. Of course, that'll determine what they collect. And of course, prices and stuff are crazy high right now with the way, because of the pandemic, has just jacked prices up from what they used to be. You know, there's also a lot of people like myself who we built up our collection years ago when no one cared about this stuff. We got this stuff for pennies on the dollar compared to what it is now. You know, like I picked up Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast for $5 at a game store, and that's going for like $300 now for the original Xbox. It's just nuts, stuff like that. You know, picked up the original Silent Hill for $5, and Silent Hill 2 for $10, and Silent Hill 3. I got a couple copies of that for the PS3, and I know I got one of them for $2 at a thrift store. That's going for like $287 now on eBay. It's just ridiculous. So I'd like to know though where you guys are at. You know, do you guys have an end game for your collection? Now for me, I do see an end game eventually wrapping up my collection, as it is pretty massive now. It's like probably over 6,000 games, tons of consoles, collectibles and stuff like that. And you know, I'm finding less and less stuff that I want to buy because I already have it. I had a couple main goals for my collection. I wanted to go for a complete North American original Xbox collection, which I achieved. I have the full set. I have tons of variants and stuff. It's the only console I do that for. I also like to get pre-order bonus and stuff for that. I also wanted to get a complete Nintendo 64 collection, which I'm only 2 games away, and I wish I had pursued that goal sooner. I kind of stopped at those 2 games to focus on the Xbox, and then of course the prices went up. So I would like to eventually get those 2 to complete it, and then I only had one other set I wanted to get, and that was for the Wii U, because the Wii U is one of my favorite console. I just absolutely love the Wii U, and it's a really cool system, and it's just one I wanted to get. And I only need like another 50 some games, and I'll actually have that complete. So those are my 3 main things I want to get complete sets for. The other systems and stuff, you know, I mainly get the games that I really want to play. And of course, I bought lots over the years that came with kind of crappy games, like a Mary Kate game or something. So I am looking to eventually in the future downgrade and downsize some stuff from my collection and get rid of things I don't really want. But that's something I will, you know, worry about later on. But like, you know, I'm really focusing now on goals of certain things I want to get as they're getting hard to find. Like I want to build up my strategy guide collection, and I know my buddy Dean is working on that as well, and I've actually been helping him with that this year. You know, getting these strategy guides that are hard to find. You know, there's certain games I want to get for consoles, like my PSP library I'm building up, my PlayStation Vita library, PlayStation 3. You know, I'm looking to get games that I want to play and get them before the prices go really high or they become hard to get, because, you know, as more and more people are jumping into the market and new people are coming in, you know, it's creating a huge demand and there's only so much supply. And as that supply dwindles, you know, prices just go up and go up. So it'll eventually, turn around as people get out of the hobby. But for right now, you know, prices are still high. So I do eventually have an end game, especially when it comes to collecting modern stuff, because, you know, we're getting closer to that all digital future. I'm still not sure if I'm ever going to get Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5, especially with this whole recent thing with Sony and their hidden DRM stuff that they have with those CMOS batteries, that like if the battery dies, you can't even play any games or any digital stuff unless you can upgrade it, and if they shut the servers down. So then, you know, you have to go to an alternate route and having someone who's hacked a console that maybe can fix it for you, or have a download thing you can download off the internet for it. So I mean, things like that just like really turn you off from wanting to play these new games. And then the other thing too, the biggest issue with them as well, is that they all need these massive day one patches in order to work. And if the patches aren't available, even if you have the physical copy, you might not be able to play the game because it'll have a game breaking bug. Like the Mad Max games had one, and my buddy Dean put like 270 hours in like 4 or 5 playthroughs because he kept running into game breaking bugs. And you see new games get launched, like that Cyberpunk game, and even the Mass Effect trilogy that was released was having issues on the Xbox where if you had a wireless headset, the game just kept crashing and you had to unplug your headset, and so that has to get patched. And so that's another thing that irritates me. Plus, you know, we're moving more into like a digital realms where the games are all digital, and at that point, you know, I'm just gonna say I'm done with the new consoles and just focus on the older stuff that I have and just collecting for older consoles. So at some point, I'm going to eventually stop buying the new games and stop with new gaming, because there's just going to be no point to it. I mean, if it goes to 100% digital, you might as well just go with the gaming PC, which my brother built me a nice gaming PC. I might as well just game on the PC and use Steam and do digital games that way, where you can tweak all the settings and get the max ultra settings, where these consoles, you know, that's where they want to move into digital. So once we move to that 100% digital, I'll just stop with collecting for the new consoles. And I think the 9th gen is going to be the end of gaming for me as far as it goes, modern gaming. I definitely don't see the 10th gen of gaming, you know, they're like, could be like 6, 7, maybe 10 years from now, could be probably 100% digital. So at that point, I'll stop buying those. But I have been slowing down on buying the stuff for my collection. As you know, I pick up videos are like fewer every year as they used to be. People have mentioned that. It's like, well, because, you know, I was building up my collection then 10 years ago for dirt cheap, and now I'm really just focusing on getting the stuff that I need left that I don't have. And so, you know, I am buying less and less stuff, and so my collection, you know, will eventually have an endpoint to it. It's just not right now, but it will be in the future. I'm also looking into buying a home eventually with my wife, and then building a dedicated game room, because right now my game room is just our living room. I have a lot of stuff everywhere, but I do have it organized pretty well. And I actually, since I was on vacation, was able to get stuff cleaned up that I wanted to finally do because I was working so damn much. And so having that whole week off was nice, and it's been great. I have 2 more vacations I'll be taking this year as well, which I'm looking forward to. So for me, you know, I do see that end in sight, that eventually, I mean, I could stop collecting today and be fine and have enough games in my collection to keep me busy for the rest of my life, and I would never have to buy another game. So, you know, I have plenty of stuff, but my collection is definitely slowing down, and I do see an end game for me. And of course, you know, like I said, everyone's at a different point in their life. You know, some people are just starting out in their collecting life. Some people are like in the middle of it, and some people are at the end of it. And it just depends And everybody's everybody's point of view is different. There's no wrong answers into this either. Some people love to be a big mega collector like myself, and other people are minimalists, and they just like to have 20 and 30 games, and this is my collection. I love it, and that's what I want. And I don't see anything wrong with either one, whether you want to collect a million games or you want to just collect a few. They're all wonderful, and they should all be for your own enjoyment. Collect this stuff for yourself. Don't collect it for other people to show off and brag. Just get it. If you like it, buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Just because some other guy buys it and has 10,000 games and has a complete Xbox collection, you don't have to get a complete Xbox collection just because that guy has it. Get it for what you want. But I'd love to hear your guys' answer to this question. Do you guys have an end game? Do you have an endpoint for your collections? I'd love to hear you guys answer this question. You guys can answer the question as a comment, or you can answer the question as a video response. I just ask if you do the video response to let me know about it, share the link, or at least mention it in the comments so I can check it out, and I will post a comment with a link to your video so people can check it out. There is a contest I will be holding at the end of this community question series. For everyone who participated, every video you'll get an entry into that contest, and I will have a couple different winners, and we'll be giving away different prizes. I'm actually looking into picking up some different games or collectibles or stuff to give out as prizes, so there'll be a variety of stuff for people to choose from. So I want to have more than one winner, so be on the lookout for that, but that's coming down here in the future. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for participating in this series. You guys have an amazing day. Take care and sleep, and we'll see you next time.